Yeah, I know how it looks. I mean, we're quarantined till May at least. Who the fuck am I shaving nice for? The Platform is an allegorical sci-fi film set in a prison-like complex of unknown location and origin where inmates of only vaguely alluded to background or reason are confined two at a time to a series of seemingly endless identical concrete cells stacked one on top of the other and connected by rectangular portals in the floor and ceiling through which daily descends a table-like platform arranged with a spread of meal rations. It begins as overflowing with rich decadent foods at the top floor. Each descending floor is only allowed to eat whatever the previous floor did not and can't save anything for later. Inmates are periodically put to sleep with gas and moved randomly between floors, establishing a class hierarchy that is at once meaningless and also the only thing that means anything. And yeah, within 5 minutes I too was going, another one of these.
It can't be! No! We'll never defeat the corporation! They've won!
And it is emphatically 100% one of those. Allegorical sci-fi in the vein of a live-action, single-panel political cartoon where the characters, props, and sets may as well be wearing gigantic name tags with capitalism, the bourgeoisie, proletarian zeitgeist, Lacan's maxim written on them. In fact, it's so bluntly one of those, so early I got briefly excited that it might actually be some kind of parody, like a spoof, making fun of hopelessly on-the-nose allegorical social satire, but alas, no, it's serious and wants us to take it even more seriously than that. Now, like, that kind of thing can work if you hitch especially interesting characters, dialogue, performances to it, or if the actual point is either fresh or especially topical in its moment, or if the employment of a sci-fi conceit, like the platform feeding system and social controls, can be deployed as a kind of visually interesting or narratively compelling way, all of which are at least possible here. But the Platform really only takes a stab at that last part in its final 10 minutes or so when it attempts to contort itself into a riff on SNOWPIERCER, thematic similarities to which are probably what got this funded in the first place. Whereas before that, it has more of the hallmarks of the unproduced stage play awkwardly reworked into a feature that it is. You've got a main audience POV character representing a kind of smarmy, malleable protagonist outlook, a succession of cellmates espousing various competing philosophies about the gigantic metaphor for arbitrary social hierarchy they find themselves in, ranging from gluttonous nihilist who embraces the id, to a woman who tries to incite organized revolution poorly, to a spiritually inclined African guy who kind of comes off like a borderline caricature, and because it's one of these, a mystery woman of moral ambiguity who occasionally rides the platform between floors and becomes an object of fixation for the protagonist because reasons. Movies like this tend to come in one of two flavors. They either go really hard on style and substance so that even if the socio-political observations are so heavy-handed as to be laughable, or so muddled as to be tuned out, or perhaps if it's an older film, maybe these observations were fresh how many decades ago it was released, you can still nonetheless appreciate the craft involved in bringing it together. I mean, you pretty much got everything Snowpiercer had to say from the setup of Snowpiercer, and that didn't make Snowpiercer any less great. Or the other popular flavor, they keep the premise flat and obvious and inject a lot of gore, violence, depravity, and general grotesquerie, not of the fun bloodbath kind, but of the, oh god, I can't look at this shit kind. I guess the idea being that if you can only half watch it, you'll only half notice that it's not a third clever as it thinks it is, and this is definitely that kind. And I really feel kind of shitty disliking something like this because it feels sincere and it's the director's first feature and he's clearly got a lot on his mind. And it's not stylish. In fact, he's clearly got the chops that he could have put together a very competent, more conventional feature instead of this more ambitious thing he tried to do. So I guess backhanded compliment on that. And I wish I had more to say in response than, bro, I've also seen and enjoyed The Exterminating Angel and The Phantom of Liberty, and you're no Louis Buñuel. Go look those two up, by the way. Those are good. But yeah, didn't care for this one. 3 out of 10. I would say don't watch it on a full stomach, but really just don't watch it.